Hey friends, I wanted to give you a little bit of background on my platform for Ms. Wheelchair Arizona 2022 and how I got to where I am today. As most of you know, my platform is always assume competence, which means when you are talking to a person with a disability you should always assume that even though they have limitations they can understand what you're saying and everything going on around them until you know for certain otherwise. Even if you become aware of someone's cognitive disability, you should still communicate with them with dignity and figure out what accommodations need to be made in order to help the person communicate and understand. Many people hear my voice which sounds different because I have dysarthria, which is a common condition that comes with cerebral palsy due to muscle weakness and spasticity, and assume that I have a cognitive disability that doesn't allow me to understand what people are saying. This is not true. Dysarthria only affects the muscles in my jaw and face. It has nothing to do with my mental competence. I used to get really frustrated with this and ask God, if you are going to keep me in this chair, could you just let me speak clearly? Over the last few years God has really shown me that my limitations have a much bigger purpose than I ever thought possible, including my voice. He keeps bringing me back to my favorite Bible story in John chapter 5, which is where Jesus heals the paralyzed man at the pool of Bethesda. Jesus acknowledges that he knows the man has been waiting by the pool for 38 years and asks him, "Do you want to be healed?" The man says, "Yes, but no one will help me into the water." And Jesus basically responds, "You don't need the water, get up, take your mat, and walk." That is exactly what the man does, but what is most interesting about this story is what happens when he leaves the pool. Yes, Jesus heals him physically, but more importantly, he heals his spirit from all the years of pain and brokenness, and he is able to go and tell other people about what God had done for him even though he doesn't know Jesus' name. The reason I love this story is because I relate to that man. I have been metaphorically waiting by the pool for Jesus to come heal me for 38 years. I am now 38 years old myself, and even though God has not healed me physically, He has healed me from the same spiritual pain and brokenness so that I can go use my weaknesses to show other people God's goodness and strength, which leads me to the shirt that I am wearing. Over the last year I have become a huge fan of the show The Chosen. I posted part of this story in the Chosen fan club on Facebook when the new shirts came out, and my story really touched one of the group members, so they decided to bless me with this shirt. The show is all about the ministry of Jesus and all of the disciples. In Season 2, Episode 4, the show tells the story of the pool of Bethesda, and in that episode, while Jesus is having the conversation with Jesse, you see the Pharisees, Jewish high priests, are fuming mad because no one is supposed to have that kind of power except for God. On top of that, no one is supposed to be healing anybody on the Sabbath, so as Jesus and the disciples are leaving the pool, one of the disciples asks Jesus, "Why did you have to heal him now? You are just going to start trouble." And Jesus replied, "Sometimes you gotta stir up the water, which means you have to start trouble to make progress, or as Dallas, the director of The Chosen, says, you gotta be disruptive and shake up the norm." That is what I am trying to do with my title as Ms. Wheelchair Arizona 2022. I'm praying that I can stir up the water and be a voice of hope for those who struggle to be heard themselves. So, in closing, I encourage you, the next time you encounter someone like me with a visible disability, take a step in faith, start a conversation, always assuming competence, and watch what blessings come back. I would love to hear your experiences. Leave a comment below and please share this video with your friends and family. I wish you all God's love, grace, and peace. As always, I am your friendly neighborhood butterfly girl, Brooke Brown. Ms. Wheelchair Arizona 2022.